As part of the new segment to the show called the Compass Literature Corner, we will be talking to local authors and writers who have had an impact on this region, or whom this region has had an impact on. Today we have a man who not only writes about the Vietnam War, but survived it. His latest book, No Place to Hide, focuses on the battle at Nguy Ba Den, one that he brings to life with his first-hand experience and tells through the company of men. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that today's guest is an old Millbank resident and historical author, Bill Sly. Bill, welcome.
Thank you, Laura Kay.
So, Bill, why don't you tell us a little bit about your book and what inspired you to write from the company's perspective?
A statement by our battalion commander, he said he wanted what he called the historical people at battles. That would include the newspaper people and the awards people. When this battle started, they put me on a helicopter along with extra ammunition, and I went there and saw what was going on, and then after that night, I was asked by the battalion commander to interview the various people and write awards for those that needed it or wanted it or that I wanted to give them to. There were so many people killed or wounded, especially the officers, that there was nobody to really put people in except the three of us, the battalion commander, a man by the name of Lieutenant Ladensack, and I. So I made a decision to write these people's story so they have something that they can have whenever they need it or want it. Actually, this is one of the reasons why I wrote it. It's very difficult, especially to remain somewhat objective. I don't think I was entirely objective, but I did something that nobody else at that battle did, and that is after it was over, after I talked to the officers, I went back to my office and wrote up the awards. And I remember that the awards were actually correct because it was exactly from what the people told me. So I was a person who had put that battle into English already. I was the person in the battalion most qualified to write their story.
And as an awards person, you know, you live to write and you live to translate and you live for research, correct?
That's correct.
And that is a huge part of this book, is the research and the respect you put into this. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right. Started out with the 1st Infantry Division Museum in a suburb of Chicago. They have every single award written by the 1st Infantry Division in Vietnam. All I had to do is go through about 10,000 of them. But it would hit me so hard because I was learning new things. And the learning on this is you don't know anything and all of a sudden something triggers and you remember everything, including how you felt at that moment. And this is one of the problems with PTSD. Then I went to people that did research on your ancestors and found out that the first 3 letters of your Social Security card is the name of the state that you started from. So I knew the name of the people I wanted and the state where they were born. And that started my research. The second part of it, I went to the Army records and I asked for what happened that day. And I was able, because I knew exactly what I wanted, I was able to do all the research I wanted in about 3 hours or 4 hours. One of the things that was pivotal to the book was the fact that we had a battalion radio log. This radio log, when somebody's talking on the radio, there's a person sitting behind them recording the time, the 2 people in the discussion, and what the actions were that resulted from it. This gave me what I call my timeline.
So with that timeline, the entire book is written in dates and times and events. You know, you're literally following the timeline as you're reading it.
Yes.
And that's what you intended when you were doing this research and how you wrote the book. So why did you include, along with this timeline, nicknames and maybe a little different way of identifying the people in this company?
There's a story that goes with this, as with almost everything. I hadn't planned on it to begin with, but my battalion commander, Newell Vincent, and he said, I want you to use nicknames and first names whenever possible. If you use rank and last name, like Sergeant Hardrock or Lieutenant Daring, people are going to envision a 2 or 3D person, that somebody they've seen on television or a comic. If you call him Popcorn or Spike, people think, well, that's like a friend of mine. And when Spike gets his helmet blown off and gets caught in the book in some vines, that's somebody you know. Mm-hmm. And I started working with it, and I really think it did a tremendous amount to the way a person reading it responds.
Speaking of that response, what kind of overall impact have you had from this book?
A couple of the people that read my dedication and have been in the book, a guy by name, we call him Wooly, and a guy by a man we call Hale. They were friends from Vietnam and from this battle. They got together and decided that as long as I had the names and the hometowns of each person that died, they would then go and find the relatives of these people and offer them a free book from the Men of Alpha Company.
Hand deliver it.
Hand deliver it. And they did. They found all 11 families and delivered 11 sets of books.
So, if you want a copy for your family of No Place to Hide, they can find it on Amazon. And where else can we find your book?
Barnes & Noble is one place. Google is another place. If you look up No Place to Hide, Bill Sly, you will find a number of responses, almost 4 pages of it in Google, of people that have read the book and then offered a response of how they felt after reading it.
Wonderful. So check it out and offer your own response. That's it for us in the Literature Corner. Please tune in next week for more people, places, and issues facing our viewing area. I'm Pioneer's Laura K. Prosser, and may your compass always point you in the direction of a good book.
Major support for Compass is provided by the ongoing support of the Leo P. Flynn Estate of Millbank, South Dakota. Additional support is provided by the Southwest Minnesota Private Industry Council, promoting Southwest Minnesota as a place rich with opportunity. Come for the jobs, stay for the lifestyle. More information at swmnpic.org.